Hello, welcome to When the Smoke Clears. I am the Recovery Plug. What's going on, everybody? Well, it's Friday. It's been a pretty good day. Well, you know how I like to get my video podcast started, always with a moment of silence, followed by the serenity prayer for the addict who still suffers. So, if you would, a moment of silence. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Well, how's it going, everybody? Thank you for watching my video podcast today. I really appreciate the people that are out there, tuning into the podcast. I couldn't do it without you guys, and I like doing these podcasts because I like to carry on a message of hope, and a message that will be able to help somebody come into this world of positivity and recovery. And well, I hope you like my background. I figured I wanted to kind of, today I wanted to give you a story of a story that I remembered of an encounter that I had. And this is a true story, by the way. And it is every now and then I like to just change the subject and get into a subject that that's kind of off topic of addiction and recovery, and just for entertainment purposes, but also a true story in the fact that, a lot of us who are addicts have, stories that we'd like to share, and kind of, some of the stories, people don't believe us, but they're real, you know what I mean? Because we've been in these weird situations, and things happen. But this is going to be a story, a true story of a extraterrestrial white ball. Now, this setting is in the 1990s. This is probably around 1999. And I'm cruising up in my Ford pickup, and this is about probably 4:30 to 5:30 in the morning. Yeah, probably more close to like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm driving from West Texas, up in Abilene, Texas, and I'm going up north to a little place called Throckmorton, Texas. Throckmorton, Texas is just this little old country town, and I'm going out there to do some work. And in my pickup, I'm driving. I got my brother-in-law sitting next to me. He's in the passenger side, and I got a few other fellas who are sitting in the back of the pickup, and not in the backpack, but in the back seat. I had a 4-door crew cab pickup, and we're driving out there because we're going to go do some work at this post office up there. We're going to go install a roof on this post office out in Throckmorton, Texas. And so I'm driving, and we're, things are, it's a normal morning drive to work in a sense. And, by the time I'm out in the country, windy road, probably 20 miles from Throckmorton, Texas, I noticed that it's barely starting to get daylight. You know what I mean? And I noticed in the peripheral vision to my right that I see this white ball, and it's I'm driving, but I could see this white ball. It's kind of just a little bit in front of me, but enough so where I can see it out of my windshield to the right, and it's about telephone pole wire high. And so I really don't pay no mind to it because I know that it's there, but I'm thinking that it's one of these balls that you see on the on telephone lines, and usually they're red. And I don't know what those balls are, but there's these big white plastic balls that looks like they're plastic balls. But this particular freaking thing was about that high up in the air. And as I'm driving, I keep like kind of glancing, to my right, and I see this thing, and well, when you're driving to Throckmorton, Texas, in this farm road, the road tends to get a little windy. Got a few little hills here and there, but it's pretty windy. And I just happened to notice that this thing keeps, wherever the road goes, it's going. And I realized that there are no more telephone pole lines. Telephone poles are not even there anymore. It's just nothing but country ranch land. And I noticed that ball is just still there floating, and it's following me. The way I'm going is the way it's going, and it doesn't veer. It's not going ahead. It's not going further back. It's staying exactly with me in the same spot. And I'm just kind of freaking out on this thing, and this is happening for miles now, right? And man, we're just, I'm driving, and I don't know what to think about it, but I'm just like, what the heck? And mind you, I'm the only car on the road at this particular moment in time. There's no cars coming, no cars passing me. I don't see anything else in the air. It's just, the morning, the sunrise is starting to come up, and you can just start seeing the horizon of the sunrise and that sort of thing. And it's kind of cool, so it's a little, in a sense, foggy a little bit, but not much. And I'm just looking over there, and this thing is just following me, man, and it's weird, but it's not a round ball. It's pretty good size, and I'm gonna gauge it from where I'm looking at it, driving in the truck to. I'm thinking this is probably about maybe a pretty good sized beach ball size. You know what I mean? For as high as it is up in the air, I'm thinking that, okay, this is at least like beach ball size. So to me, that's pretty big. You know what I mean? That's a pretty big freaking floating ball, but it's not completely round. You know what I mean? It's circular. It's like a sphere, but like almost a little bit off shape, kind of not egg shape, but it's starting to be a little bit oblong in a sense, but it's more round than anything, but it's not perfectly round. And so I'm just watching this thing, and as I'm driving, and I'm just amazed that this thing is just following me like nothing. So I'm driving, and we're going miles and miles, and it's starting to get a little bit more daylight, and I'm getting a whole lot closer to Throckmorton, Texas by this time. So you're talking probably 10, probably about 15 minutes of driving with this thing, on the side of me, and no more telephone poles. There's just nothing but ranch land. And it's a weird sight, but it's kind of intriguing, and I'm trying to just figuring out what it was. And at first I thought it was maybe some sort of weather ball, or those round balls that are on the telephone lines. But after there was no more telephone lines, I'm like thinking, okay, well, what the hell is this thing? And I had never seen anything like it before in my life, so it was kind of freaking me out a little bit. But I didn't say nothing. I didn't want to wake anybody up. And the closer I'm getting into town, I'm about, 2 miles from the city limits of Throckmorton, Texas. And it's kind of this windy road when you're coming into town, and then you cross this bridge, and there's a creek, and then there's this city limit sign. And as soon as I'm fixing to come to that one point, and I hit that last turn, and as soon as I hit that last turn, it turns this way, and then it goes straight. Well, as soon as I hit that last turn and I'm fixing to go straight, then I'm going to cross the bridge and hit the city limit sign. Well, there's this fence line. There's a ranch fence that goes all the way down this field. Well, this thing just takes off in a blink of an eye. I mean, this thing just shot out, like straight down that fence line, and disappeared in like a split second. Like it was just, like blinking and it's gone. Like it was so fast. but I just saw it shot out and it disappeared in just a split second and it went fast. And I just freaked out when it did that. And as soon as that happens, then I get into the town and I pull over into the first little convenience store and I look over and I see my brother-in-law. I noticed that he was awake, and then I look at him, and then he looks at me, and I asked him, I was like, "Did you see that?" And he goes, "Yeah, I've been watching it for a long time." He goes, "What was that?" He goes, "I didn't want to say nothing. I didn't want you to think I was crazy." And I was like, "I don't know, man." I said, "That was weird, right?" And so we talked about it, that whole day at work, and freaking out about what we had seen. So that afternoon, when we drove back to Abilene, Texas, and we got back from work and whatnot, and we used to have dinner over at my mother-in-law's house, and I'd meet my wife out there with my baby girl Ariel, and we'd have dinner, and I only had one daughter at the time, and we started talking about what we'd seen, and when we got back, and everybody was like, "Yeah, they was just whatever," they didn't believe us. They were like, "Really?" And I was like, "God, that sounds kind of weird." And they were like, "No, for real, we saw this thing and this and that," and just going on and on about it. Well, it just about 2 weeks have gone by, and we meet up back at my mother-in-law's about 2 weeks later. We're back over there for dinner, one night, and this is about 6 o'clock and 6:30 in the afternoon, and there used to be this program. I think it was called PM Entertainment Tonight or something like that. They used to come out back in the late 90s, and it was they come up there, and the reporters like, "Well, next we're gonna see some UFO sightings around the world, and this phenomenon about this white ball, and there has been sightings in Mexico, in the United States, and in Germany, and in Japan, and in this other whatever South America, and just different parts of the world." And we sat there and watched the segment, and it's that white ball. And me and my freaking brother-in-law John just turned around and looked at each other, and we're like, "That's the white ball that we saw, dude. That's it. That's exactly what we saw." And everybody believed us. It was just like, "What the heck? You guys saw that?" And yeah, but it was just so ironic that there had been other people around the world that saw the same thing, and it doing the same thing. The stories that people were saying were the same type of stories that me and my brother-in-law had witnessed, and I was just really intrigued by that, and I was a believer. You know what I mean? That there's something out there that exists beyond the skies that is not of human. I guess it's something that's not of human origin. That's for sure, because nothing that we have here on Earth can move that fast, except for turning on the light or the speed of sound. You know what I mean? But those are things that we can't really see. But this thing, I was able to see something tangible, something that was existing right in front of me, and it just zipped and went thousands, hundreds of yards in a split second and disappeared into thin air. That to me was just like my very, very first encounter with an extraterrestrial UFO, whatever it was. It was my first encounter, and it was something that has always stuck with me. And it's not my only encounter, but it was my very first one, and that's the encounter of the white ball. Now, if you have a story, or if you've seen that white ball, leave me a comment, leave me a message, and if you would, please subscribe to my channel. And until the next time on When the Smoke Clears, I am the Recovery Plug.